Okay, so what is CSS? Well, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and all they are a way of taking your content and styling it. So if we look at this website here that I've got up on the screen, if I go to the edit page screen here, and in WordPress you've got a visual tab and a text tab. If I just click to the text tab here, and the text tab is useful because it shows you the HTML that WordPress is creating for you under the bonnet. And can you look at the top here? If you look at the top here, can you see our heading here is just marked up as a heading 2. And in WordPress that's very straightforward to do. Let me just do it again so you can see that. And if I just flick to the visual tab and highlight it and make that a heading 2 and go back to the text tab, you'll see under the bonnet all WordPress has done has marked up that heading as a heading 2. And all CSS does, it will take that element, and this is called an HTML element, and it will apply a style to it. And every element on your site will be marked up in HTML. So this up here will be called your logo, this will be called your navigation, this will be called your heading, this will be called your paragraphs, these will be your footers. So every bit of your website, if you can think of it, is an element. It's made up of elements, of HTML elements. And simply all your CSS style sheet does is it will take that heading 2 and style it accordingly. And here's just a picture just to illustrate that. So over on the left hand side of the screen we've got your content, and likewise we've got your heading 2 here. Every single WordPress theme has a file called a style sheet, which is different for every theme. So every theme has a different one. And all your style sheet does is apply a design to your content. And if you want to see a style sheet, you can actually see it in your WordPress site. So if I just go to the dashboard here, and if I go to Appearance and Editor in WordPress, so this is now looking at my theme. And if I scroll down here, you'll see at the bottom there's one called Styles, and typically it'll be called your style.css. That is your style sheet for your theme. And in here, if I just scroll down on the screen, this is a very large style sheet, you'll see there are heaps and heaps of styles that apply design to HTML elements. Let me just scroll down a little bit to show you a better example. Okay, so this is navigation. So this is the navigation element, and this applies a bottom margin to that navigation element. But every single bit of the site will be marked, have a style applied to it. So all your headings and all your paragraphs, everything will be designed in here. So that's your style sheet. So every single WordPress theme has a file called a style sheet, and your style sheet simply applies design to your content. And what WordPress does so elegantly, and why it's very clever, is WordPress separates your content from your design. It separates your content from your design, which means if you switch themes, a different theme will apply a different style to your same content. So you'll never lose any content when you switch themes with WordPress, which is one of the really, really powerful things about it. Now, style sheets have their own language, which is called CSS. And here's an example on the screen for you. This is a heading 2. And so they have their own way of writing in CSS. And here's an example. So all this does is say, this is a heading 2, make the size 20 pixels and the color black. So CSS at its simplest level can be very, very straightforward. And I'm going to show you in the next few tutorials how you can apply a little bit of knowledge to start tweaking your website, and then how there's some great tools out there that you can use where you actually don't have to learn all the syntax for CSS to actually apply the styles.